the president unveiling a new program called My Brother's Keeper. Tell us about that, if you would.
Yeah, definitely what many are calling a historic day inside the East Room of the White House right behind me there, as the president brought together so many people from the private sector and the public sector for this announcement today. He said it has support across the board to help young men and boys of color get out of the situations they are in and contribute to society. As the president says, it's an issue of national importance. These young men from Chicago were invited to the White House as success stories.
My neighborhood is tough. It isn't always safe. And just recently, I was robbed while walking home from school. But those challenges have not stopped me from wanting to have a better and safer place to live and work.
In announcing the White House initiative of My Brother's Keeper, President Obama drew on his own life experience.
I didn't have a dad in the house. And I was angry about it, even though I didn't necessarily realize it at the time. I made bad choices. I got high without always thinking about the harm that it could do. I didn't always take school as seriously as I should have. I made excuses. Sometimes I sold myself short.
Statistics show boys and young men of color are more likely to drop out of school, be unemployed, and find themselves part of the criminal justice system, often doing time in jail.
50 years after Dr. King talked about his dream for America's children, the stubborn fact is that the life chances of the average black or brown child in this country lags behind by almost every measure, and is worse for boys and young men.
So this Brother's Keeper program is a partnership between religious leaders, business leaders and philanthropists, foundations and government leaders to help lift up young men of color who commit to making something of their lives.
To do what we can in this year of action to give more young Americans the support they need to make good choices and to be resilient and to overcome obstacles and achieve their dreams.
And as you saw in the video there, a lot of famous faces inside the East Room of the White House for this announcement today, from Magic Johnson to the Reverend Al Sharpton to many leaders within the Congress and the Senate and President Obama's administration. So far, businesses and foundations have pumped $150 million into this effort, and they have committed an additional $200 million over the next 5 years to help in this initiative. Logan?
Kyle, what are some of the concrete aspects of this program? Is there job training? Are there scholarships? What kind of help will these young men be given?
Each of those, Logan, very important that you brought that up. As the president is getting involved, not only government leaders, but also local business leaders and those in foundations and schools. He says it's very important to help these young men, even before they get to even high school age, to stay in school, keep their learning going, keep their grades up, and then give them incentives to go to college, to go to higher education. They are working with the communities. As we said, a lot of money pumping into this already, into this initiative for scholarships and other types of donations to help them along, and it's just going to grow. But one thing the president did say today, this is just a beginning today, and it's not something that's going to all come together and be finished in the next year or two or more. It's something that's going to have to continue to grow. We're live tonight in Washington, outside the White House. I'm Kyle Schmoyer, Ebru News.
All right, Kyle, thank you so much for that report.